All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you are having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Welcome to this Friday, first week of the year, as we look to put this one in the books. All right, excellent. Our gappers list this morning. Wait for Peter to hop on in just a second here. But our gappers list so far, we got just a couple of things in the greens, a little bit, two more in the red. Matter and Coin just popped up, so very nice. They've been heavily in play, so we'll see how that plays out here. I know we have job numbers that just came out. I don't have that for you because Peter is my right-hand man who's gonna get those numbers for us. But I will use my community to get those numbers for us. So here is what we have right now as far as our reaction. Let's see here. Let's take a look at our 5-minute. And there it is. We're getting some downturn reaction at the moment. Good morning, guys, over on YouTube. Good morning over on our YouTube chat. Does anybody have the numbers yet? Unemployment rate for today. Let's see. Somebody has them on here. Should have been out by now. And at the moment, the market is just not liking what it's seeing right now. So very early on, we'll have to wait for it to settle down and kind of see where it takes it. You know, we've seen this before where we get initial reaction, and then from there we can see where things develop right after. U.S. unemployment, thanks, banks. The U.S. unemployment rate for December, 3.7 versus 3.8%. Estimated was 3.7. So not a huge difference. A couple of more numbers are coming out. The unemployment, the U6 unemployment rate December, 7.1 versus 7.0. Thank you, banks, for the information. So again, not crazy drastic fluctuations in there. Oh, hey, good morning, Peter. We can't hear you just yet.
Good morning, Carlos.
Oh, there you are. Good morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm gonna get the echo going here. There we go. Okay.
Yeah,
good.
Now I got you. Excellent.
Yeah.
So we're just going over the unemployment numbers here, Peter, that just came out, and we're seeing their overall reaction as things are. They seem to be fairly what's expected. That looks a little bit different there. So like a non-farm payroll as well coming out. So a bunch of stuff that is being released today. Let's see how the market dissects this. Peter, anything else happening for today?
I think you just covered it. Yeah, the unemployment rate came out pretty much on line, slightly lower. Like we've been seeing, slightly strong economy, which could be worrying for the markets overall, right? Because the stronger the economy, the more the Fed is likely to increase rates, which is not what the market wants to see, right? Because the market is structured and banking on rate decreases in 2024. And we can see the reaction right now with the market moving down a little bit. The only other number to come out later today, and apologies, the economic calendar is not updated, is we do have the ISM, PMI numbers that are coming out at 10 o'clock. So we'll see if those also come out strong. That could have an impact on the markets, a further impact. And we do have a couple of FOMC speakers. It might be interesting with the relative strength. Again, it hasn't been huge, right? It's just been mildly strong, but on almost every signal that we've seen this week. Barkin, for example, speaking at 1 o'clock today. They may make some comments against the economy, so be aware of that. So 10 o'clock and 1 o'clock are your two times to look at other economic signals. So we'll see. We'll see if the SPY holds this downturn that we're seeing in the short term. But it's I don't know. We'll find out. I mean, again, if you look at the the forecasts, right? Everybody's expecting interest rates to drop this year. Well, not everybody, but like 92% or something. And that attitude may change if we keep seeing these strong economic signals. We'll find out together. That's what all I
We,
got there.
yeah, no, excellent. I was on mute. You were right on time. I wasn't. um, so there it is, friends. That is all we have at the moment, economic data. So we'll see what the market does right now. A little bit of a drop, and then just kind of bouncing back a little bit. On our gappers list, which we saw earlier, it's getting a little more exciting towards the downside with the news just being released. So a lot more tickers showing up on this list now. We'll go through some of these, and a lot that were, well, a few more that were on our gap up list just now disappeared. So yeah, let's dive into it, man. Looking forward to a great Friday. It has been an amazing week, has been very active. Let's hope that continues. Leading the way this morning, Piton. And we know Piton has some news on some TikTok situation happening yesterday, or at least this week. Now they're gapping up 5.4, 1.2 million shares traded. And yeah, we'll see where this goes. Again, I didn't watch it yesterday. Let's take a look how it did. Pretty much not great at the market open. Had a breakout later in the day around 1 o'clock, seems like, and that seems to have been pretty clean with some decent volume, not explosive, but yeah, it's one of these stocks where it's a hit or miss. But there's more this type of trading than there is this here, so I tend to keep it off my list. Um, Peter, anything that new besides what we know already with the TikTok?
TikTok, I mean, well, yeah, like the news was about them having this partnership with TikTok where they're going to be creating online content for them. Interesting. The only real story I see today is an entertaining one where I guess a UFC CEO, Dana White, heard a story from a comedian about Peloton and then demanded that all their bikes be removed from UFC gyms. So, okay, I don't know how many gyms that is or what the actual financial impact. Probably not much because they've already bought the bikes and the memberships. It's more the PR thing about the Peloton being removed forcibly. So, but I just find that entertaining that he said, the quote is, "We're going to throw them in the effing garbage today. Throw them in the garbage. We want them out of the gyms."
Hey,
So,
let me know what garbage can you're throwing those in. I will gladly back up a
yeah,
truck and help you take those off your hands. Trust me, no
yeah,
cost to you.
yeah.
uh, well,
Actually, there you
well,
go. That's just so
yeah.
people can
Here's
yeah,
my
take
number,
advantage
man.
of that, right?
I'm gonna post my number here. Call me, and we'll build a BBT cycling situation over here in New Jersey, North Jersey.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the next one. Doesn't look,
Clearly,
yeah.
yeah, clearly that news is not impacting Peloton stock this morning as they are continuing to go up. So I guess overall people are still saying, whatever. We'll like you said, we'll back the truck up. It's
we,
take
we
them.
we we sure will. All right. Again, I just don't like the way this thing trades, so I'm still gonna keep it off my list. Interesting news, but I'll still keep it off my list. Here's a
Mm.
ALT this morning. Do you want to put the garbage can on that one, Peter? Is that what you're doing?
No,
Oh,
no,
oh, oh,
I'm
okay,
not that adamant about it. Yeah.
okay. ALT this morning, guys, 2.8, 185,000 shares traded. This looks horrible. Yeah, look at it yesterday too. It's just barely any volume out of nowhere. You get this spike, then back to sideways action. Yeah, I'm not liking this at all, unless you have anything that's worth watching on ALT
No.
this morning. No. All right, we'll move on. RCAC seems to just popped up over here. Okay, last couple of minutes, we're getting some insane price action. Is up 90% just like that, right? From 550 over to almost $12. Scary stuff, man. The only people happy here is the people holding overnight at $5 right now, at least for the moment. So take advantage. But up 100%, 116,000 shares traded. So very light volume for this move. Is there any news? This is scary stuff.
This is a low float. We only have 4 million shares in the float, so it can definitely, be jumping around like this. The other thing, bad about it. This is a capital acquisition corp, which means it's really just a bucket of money. It's a shell company, and then you never know why a shell company is moving. So I don't think this is actually going to result in any tradable action. I could be wrong, but yeah, I would say flamey garbage. It. We'll keep moving on.
Yeah, yeah, we'll definitely move on from that one. Careful, careful. More stuff keeps popping up on our gap up list. Here's AUPH. We'll quickly look at this one, and this is another hot garbage can at the moment. Nothing to see here. We'll move on from this. All right, gap down list went from 5 to about 10 or more just in the last couple of minutes with the release of the spy the jobless number, unemployment rate for December. So here it is, AGL, the first one on deck. This is down 30%. Big drop for them. Not a whole lot of volume. They don't get great volume throughout the entire day. I don't see this one as being a great intraday trading ticker. And usually these health type companies are not, right? We usually don't look at them because they just don't trade well. So I'm going to skip it, Peter, unless you tell me I shouldn't. It looks pretty bad.
No, I mean there is news. Their CEO is retiring, but more importantly, they have announced they sort of called off their forecast. They said their costs are going to be a little higher than expected, and therefore costs are basically they're not going to make as much money, and you can see they're suffering 30% drop as a result. So probably not the way the CEO wanted to go out with the announcement, but there you have it. So. AGL has been on our list in the past. It's never traded well that I've seen. So, yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip on this one. Moving down to the next one, VYGR. So VYGR this morning, Warrior Therapeutics, down from the recent highs here of 11 down to 9, so down 17%, 260,000 shares traded. It just looks like the recent fund might be over. So I don't know how well this is going to trade. Again, just a lot of garbage on the top of this gap down list this morning. Um, all right, I'm moving
So,
on down. Yeah.
it, yeah, it's a secondary offering. What the?
Mm-hmm.
All
It's
right.
that bad.
No, it's just what? It's a secondary offering, $100 million secondary offering. They're basically issuing 10 million shares, 11 million shares at $9 each. I'm hesitating only because they they're issuing 7,777,778 shares at $9 a share, and then 3,333,333 shares at $8.99.9. I don't know what game I don't know what game they're playing here, but I guess that's how they got to the even 10 million. Whatever. Anyways, secondary
Yeah.
offering.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
just sounds funky.
Okay, Brian,
Um.
your eye twitched. I don't blame you. I
Yeah.
have a
Yeah.
hard time.
Our eyes switching there. All right. Let's head over to another one here this morning. Let's look at DYN. DYN today we are up 10, down 10%. We're up yesterday maybe about that, and now we're just coming back down a little bit. So Dyne Therapeutics, again, these therapeutics companies, man, they're just not fun. Intraday trading, these companies, they're just not fun. Look at it yesterday, even when it had such a great move. By the way, look at the last couple of days. Let's go back here a little bit. This was Wednesday. No, what they say? Today's Friday. This would have been Wednesday. uh, Gapped up, sold off, then sold back up to where it came from, and now it's looking to open it gapping down. So hot garbage on this thing, man. I don't know what's going on.
Hot garbage.
I don't
Well,
want no parts of it.
Wednesday we had talked about this. This is they had positive trial news, but as you say, they gapped up big, and this is one of the ones that we warned about, right? Because they can gap up and sell off all day. Well, that's exactly what happened, and then they pulled back up yesterday, and now they're moving down. And I mean, yeah, exactly, flaming garbage can. Whether it's happy or not, it's we just we're moving
Yeah,
down the list.
yeah.
As Dan says, he's got the cutesy garbage can going.
Yeah, yeah. Here's PLTR, which again, PLTR, we have a soft spot for PLTR. It was good at one point, really good, and we had a lot of fun with it. Hasn't been lately, but today the numbers look interesting. Down 4.4, 2.3 million shares traded, and we've been losing a lot of ground in the last couple of days. So this could be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any news?
They had a downgrade, and they basically, well, I mean, the downgrade is said because AI is overhyped. Really? Wow, these
Yeah,
analysts are right on it, man. They're right on top of all of this. So,
only took
anyways,
them two
well,
years.
don't get me going on analysts. But if there's any analysts in the room, sorry, but you know I'm right. But we've been talking about this for a while, right? This is what happens in the hype cycle. You get things that they go crazy, then everybody sits back and says, "Okay, so where does the revenue happen? How does this
Right.
actually make
How do you
money?"
make money? Yeah.
And then everything starts to come back. And then when they actually deliver, that's when things get really bad because everybody says, "Why aren't you like a $1 trillion company?" That's what I was expecting because that's what I priced you for. And anyways, it all goes crazy. So bottled
It's
water.
that is the
Like bottled
question.
water are traded on the market. So
Yeah, yeah. Especially like these health companies, right? These health companies say, "Oh yeah, we're doing AI." What are you exactly going to be doing with AI, right? That's going to make you more profitable. And
yeah.
you only got guys like Nvidia, Microsoft, actual tech companies that can actually make some profit off of that. The ones that are really benefiting. Everybody else,
Well,
you know,
I mean,
uh,
PLTR is a software company, so I suppose they could, but
yeah. But I don't even know what
it's
they do. What would these guys do? I have
they're
no clue.
software developers.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so no good. I mean, I like their no good for AI situation, but I like their numbers today. I like the way they're gapping down here. So hopefully we can get something good out of this one. All right, let's do it. Let's finish this list off here. Hopefully we can get something better. Here's Carvana, CVNA, and what do we have going on today? Down 3%. No volume really over the last couple of minutes here. So I'm just gonna leave it alone. Does look interesting on the daily. You see a nice drop from 60 down to 45 in about 2 weeks. So decent drop as far as numbers. Hasn't been doing it with great volume, but could be interesting if it gets the volume, I think. But not right now though. We'll put this as secondary. We'll see what happens. All right.
Carvana, I'm
Yeah.
reading some of the online commentary about Carvana, and some people are quite funny there. Anyways, they're very upset. Carvana announced that they were going to be reducing their costs, and everybody's like scratching their head on how are they going to reduce their costs? Because they got these vending machines. Once you got it, you got it. Because
Yeah.
the way they said they were going to reduce costs was reducing cost per square foot of real estate owned. And everybody's like, if you own a vending machine and it's empty, how are you going to reduce your costs? Like, anyways, I
Who,
just thought
who are you gonna sell these things to, right? You buy a building, you do something in it, you can sell it, no problem, get rid of it. Who
yeah,
do you sell this to?
this is a pretty specialized building, isn't it? So
Oh
it's
yeah,
yeah.
yes,
Anyways,
interesting. All right, so that's Carvana there. Let's take a look at the next one on here. We have NCLH, which is our
wow.
yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen them
Oh,
in
oh,
quite a while. I was talking about them just either yesterday or the day before. How actually it was a
okay.
couple of days ago. I said I was watching the sector because you never know when they're going to start to move. Is this it? Is this the move I was waiting for?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to get too excited. They had a downgrade this morning, so Wells Fargo said, we don't quite believe the story.
Mm,
Downgraded Norwegian Cruise Lines. Interestingly, they downgraded them to $18, which is now above the current price. So, anyways, analysts,
yeah.
moving on.
It just doesn't look good. Very light volume right now. We'll have to leave it alone for a second at least. All right, we'll stop here. I am going to look at Mara and Coin because those two have been really hot today. Well, not today, this week. Here's Mara down 2%, still has the volume. Look at the last couple of days, guys, the way this thing has been moving, right? So it's definitely been interesting. Another one that we've been looking at is Coin. So I'm going to put Mara on here. I'm going to look at Coin as well. Had a couple of trades on this week, so that has been good also. And then what's the other one that popped up big yesterday was mRNA or a few days ago. mRNA. This had a good pop there, but nothing's happening today. All right. Peter, what
Yeah.
do you like on your end?
Not much, to be honest. You remember I was watching some of the standards. AMD had been a good mover earlier in the week.
Yeah.
Yesterday, not so much, to be honest. I found the moves a little choppier and more difficult. uh, I'll keep an eye on it, but I don't know. I mean, I feel that it's going a little quieter, so we may have. Don't forget, this is still a short week. Um, the volume has been great this week. Like it's
Yeah.
been sort
Yeah.
of back. I think though Friday we may see a tapering off of volume a little more harshly than we would otherwise. So I think that it's going to be fairly quiet. But I'll watch AMD. Apple has been a decent mover here over the last couple of days. You got to really pick your spots though on these ones. Same thing with Tesla. So these are my three, my three sort of standbys. We'll keep an eye on that. I may keep an eye. We talked about Peloton. I noticed you didn't put it on your list. It hasn't been moving that well, but I don't know. Maybe it's going to do something. I don't know. It doesn't look that great, but I don't know. I'd love to see Peloton just do something crazy, just for the heck of it, just
Uh,
because.
are you holding on to old good memories that you want to see come back on Peloton?
Maybe
Is that what it is?
maybe that's it. I'm living in the past. Because I mean, even yesterday I traded Walgreen boots. If you remember, they had earnings yesterday, so we were watching them and traded them off the open, and that's really the only trade that of significance that I had. So, I don't know. Maybe that's a signal that I'm in the wrong stuff. I will mention a couple things that did have earnings this morning.
Yep.
Constellation Brands had earnings. STZ, as I would say it, STZ for my American friends. They don't typically trade all that well, but can be. Uh, I don't know. I find them fun to watch because I always want to see what they're doing. But they have beat their numbers, top and bottom line. The only other one was GBX Greenbrier. They also had earnings and beat their numbers. So there's no volume in that one whatsoever. But trying to give you a full picture in case you're interested. Yeah, it's a little slim pickings today. As I said, I think we're going to get a lower volume day and a little bit slower price action. So just be careful whatever you pick.
Yeah, yeah. Spy, since the numbers broke out early at 8:30, hasn't really done much. We had an initial drop there, which is not that big, and they're just kind of hanging out sideways. So we'll see if the market open does anything for this. Peter, now if I remember, is there anything else in this afternoon coming out or no, as far as economic data that you're?
We do have at I think it was at 2 o'clock. Well, at 10 o'clock this morning, we do have the ISM PMI numbers that are coming
Hmm.
out. And then we got some speakers. Sorry, it was 1 o'clock when Barkin was speaking. Again, I mentioned that only because normally that's a low market impact. But with the, again, strong economic news we've been seeing, Barkin may make some advanced statements about the Fed. I mean, and he said it before, by the way, but may say again, yeah, don't forget, we've always reserved the right to increase interest rates again if we need. Now that if it gets said, whereas before people would say, yeah, whatever, now they may say, well, wait a second, tell me more about that. Like, would you actually increase rates? And so, anyways, we'll see if it has impact. Just be aware of that time, right? If you're
Yeah.
trading at 1 o'clock, I think you should just be thereafter. It is a speech, so it could happen anytime during that presentation, which I don't even know how long it's going to last. But yeah, that's it. So nothing major.
Yeah.
PMI at
Yeah.
10 is probably the bigger one.
Yeah, probably will be. Um, all right, guys, let's take a look at what you guys like this morning. Then we'll head over to our community events and announcements. So Jesse over on our chat is giving us QS. Yeah, QS actually, I was not thinking about this one, Jesse, but they
QuantumScape.
yeah,
Whoa.
they had a we had them we I didn't keep it on my list, but they did have a they were gapping up yesterday. They had some news, I believe.
Yeah.
And look at the run. I mean, this traded very, very well if you're watching it. Typically not a stock that does this type of move, but man, what an awesome trading day for them. Now I'm looking at a dead chart. I don't know how clean this was. Even like this, it could be difficult to catch a move, right? Even if it traded
Yeah,
this
it's a
clean. So
good question. It looks
yeah,
great, doesn't it, in hindsight? I didn't watch it yesterday. I'm not sure why it fell off my list. I used to love QuantumScape. But,
yeah. Yeah, I think volume was very light. It wasn't really doing much, but man, volume came in right at the open, and the entire day just slowly but surely, just inched its way up there and had a great, great move. Today already 1.2 million, so much different volume than we saw yesterday. It is down slightly. I don't know what type of action you're going to get today. could be a good for secondary play here. Maybe an overreaction, right? So maybe come back down to earth a little bit. Or if it's gonna be strong, it can maybe have half of this move. Who knows? QS will put it on the secondary list. We'll come back to. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's showing that it can trade very well. At least yesterday it did. Let's see here. What else, guys? You like going back up? We have a QS. We looked at that one. Susan, you're giving us you. Unity Software is another one that's down this morning, down 1.8, 145,000. This one pre-market, they don't do a whole lot. I noticed that. Now, once in a while, they'll at the market open, they'll get the volume and they can trade okay. I usually don't end up watching them, but you really got to wait for the market open. There's not much we're going to get off the pre-market now on this one. And again, the daily looks interesting. We lost a lot of ground over the last couple of days, so maybe wants to come back down to 34. Next big level of support there. I don't know, but you really have to watch it at the market open to see what you're going to get. So I see what you're looking at. Day looks great. This thing has been trying to find some support. If it continues to be weak, if there's overall market can help it, that can be good. But again, we're just not getting much from the pre-market action right now on this one. Apple, we do have on deck. I saw a couple of you guys mentioning that over on YouTube. We have our buddy Alexander. We also had a couple of you guys down here. Who else did it? Puppet Master as well. So yeah, Apple is on my list. On my secondary right now. I might move it up if I don't find anything else to put on this main list. I got PLTR and I got AMD, and AMD going green now, so getting a little bit of a bounce.
Huh.
Apple's still in the red, but trying to bounce from the low of the pre-market. So yeah, things are looking somewhat decent here. I'll move Apple up. Let's put that over here, and let's bring that up. Apple does look good. Volume is coming in really nice on Apple, actually. So I'm gonna move that up. Tesla Mara.
Interesting.
Yeah.
MD is mentioning in the room is mentioning CCL. So we mentioned
Mm-hmm.
NCLH because they were on our list and got a downgrade from Wells Fargo this morning. CCL got an upgrade from Wells Fargo this morning. So
Mm.
interesting that they're pushing those two cruise lines in opposite directions. Normally they move together. So I guess Carnival's story is a little more believable than Norwegian's, according to Wells Fargo. So uh, yeah, like I said before, it might be
That's
worth keeping an eye on the sector to see what happens.
yeah.
That divergent opinion may,
Uh,
may, may
It
get
is
some volume in
very
it, if nothing
interesting.
else.
Yeah. Yeah, that is very interesting to see two almost identical competitors go opposite direction here.
Mm.
Maybe NCLH forgot to send a check to West Fargo, and they're seeing the reaction to that. But yeah, here we go. And CCL on the other side, but again, not a great move so far. Only 714,000, which is not a whole lot of volume for CCL guys. These guys can push a lot of volume even when they're not in play. Um, so yeah, I'm not sure. We'll wait for that to hit the scanners. Maybe that can be a better for us here. Tesla, you did mention it, but I forgot to put it on here. Tesla has been also very nice, getting tons of volume, guys. And if you look at this intraday action on a lot of these days, not so much yesterday, they've been selling off really clean. Their intraday action has been really, really nice. So today they already have 1.5 million here, slightly lower. They're at an interesting area because you got this big support resistance level that we held on yesterday, right? We didn't fall off from that, but today we're slightly below that, and we got another big level coming up around two. What is this? This will be 232. So yeah, I like Tesla this morning. I'm gonna bring them up, and again, they've just been trading pretty nice as well. So Tesla goes here, 1.5 million on the volume. That looks good. What else? Piton, DJ Mix. I do have Piton in the secondary here. Piton gets volume, man. They get a lot of volume, and then they don't have to really trade well. I mean, if you look at the open yesterday, this was brutal, right? Very, very choppy here with volume. Like you're getting 1.6 million on this 5 minute candle, right? The next one you're getting almost 700,000, almost a million shares traded. So it gets the volume. Something happened around 1 o'clock, right, where you got the more volume. You got a nice little breakout, but they're tough to trade. So we'll see. Secondary for now. We can always move it up if we see something that we like. All right, last one. Then we'll head to our community events and announcements. Take a look at PayPal from Samer over on YouTube. PayPal, it is down 1.1, 181,000 shares traded. Again, just not a whole lot of volume. Had a big day on, well, I didn't see this. Wednesday had a big drop. on here. I mean, a lot of stuff dropped Wednesday. You also had Tesla had a big drop on Wednesday. Some other bigger companies that also had a nice drop. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see how the market reacts to this. It is at a great level here of support. It held on to that yesterday. You can see that's clearly a nice area of support. So this stock doesn't want to go below that. That is around where your low of the day is right now. I'm sorry, low of the pre-market is right now. So let's see when the volume comes in, right? Could be interesting if we see some weakness or if we see any kind of strength in the overall market, right? These tech companies can get going here. All right.
Yeah. PayPal's had a pair of downgrades, one yesterday, one today.
Mm,
So I guess the general view from Wall Street is that PayPal is heading lower, but they're not well, they're not always right. Let's just put it that way. So,
yeah.
but it can
Uh,
create, interest and volume, which is really all we need. We'll do the rest, right?
Absolutely. That is all we need. Make that thing move one way or the other, and we'll take advantage of the move. Let's go to our website, bearbutrators.com. Guys, you can always come here and get tons of information, including what's coming up for the next 2 weeks. So we'll come up over here, over on webinars, which is this area right over here in the top bar menu. Click on this, and you can see what's happening for the next 2 weeks. And if you're not a member yet and you missed something that was done, everything is recorded. So you can always come here in our education center. You can see previous recordings. If you missed it, you get access to all of that as well. Peter, walk you through what's happening for the next 2 weeks.
Well, it's Friday, right? So that means we have no active events for today, but we're getting ready for next week. Starting on Monday with our onboarding, which happens every Monday. Megan and sometimes Mike leads that. That'll be at 8 o'clock on Monday in the onboarding room. It's great for anybody that's new to the room or just wants a refresher on all you can get out of your Bear Bull membership. Tuesdays, we talk strategy and trade book. And this coming Tuesday, since we updated our schedule here, Thor is going to be talking about spotting the optimal trade entry. So that'll be Tuesday, 8 o'clock. And then we've got Lenny. So Lenny, a new part of the team here, is going to be doing a webinar a week from Tuesday, talking about selecting stocks to play. So he's going to go through his process that he uses every morning, talking about how he trades and selects his stocks. Both of those are at 8 o'clock and in the webinar room. Wednesdays are psychology, and this coming Wednesday, we've been talking about it. Jared Tendler is up, going to be talking about second part of his series, Analyzing Performance Beyond P&L is what it's titled. Another update there on the title, and that's going to be a great session. I loved his first one. If you haven't checked out some of his written work, he's got a couple of published books, and they're very good. It talks about psychology in a number of fields, including trading, and as we know, it's applicable. I personally love trading, or I love reading books on poker, for example, because it's a great area where you can use any high pressure environment. Those psychological lessons are very transferable. So worth paying attention to. And Jared will be talking to us personally on Wednesday, January the 10th. The next week on the 17th, we've got another new presenter, Louis Severin, that's going to be with us talking about how he recovered from a 70% loss on a six-figure account. So that's a big loss, and anybody that's suffered a loss understands how painful it is. And it doesn't really matter the size of the account, right? Whether you had a $30,000 account or a $30 million account, when you lose it all or most of it, that can take you down a few notches. And everybody loves listening to these types of stories. Trust me, there's books written about it. But Louis is going to talk about his personal experience on this. And it'd be well worth attending. So put that in your calendars for Wednesday the 17th. Thursday, like yesterday, next Thursday, we will do our mentorship sessions. We have 3 that are scheduled on Thursdays. John at 11, Jared and Megan talking options at 2, and Thor at 8 p.m. Don't forget that we've got Paris's scheduled session that's also at 5 o'clock on Sundays. So this Sunday, 5 o'clock, we should have one. That's the expectation. And then next Sunday, we'll have one as well. So mark that. That'll be in the webinar room. You can join him as he gets people ready for the upcoming week. So that's the slate of activities over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully you'll put those in your calendar so you're ready for them. If you missed what we just said, well, you can review this video on YouTube, or you can go to our website. You can find it all there, which is where Carlos is looking at it right now, and pull it down, go under webinars. You'll see the full list of information there for you. If you want information online, on the markets, tradingterminal.com is where we recommend you go check out the latest on the markets, on news, on the gappers. You want to look at the scanners, right? We have those live and active in there. There's also a live market simulator as well as a replay mode. You can use that replay mode anytime, 24/7, to replay any stock any day and practice your trading. You can also get the scanners like Carlos is showing you here. They can help you through your trading day, show you what's moving. There's a set out of the box like they look here, or you can customize them. And like Carlos uses in the morning, he uses a customized view that shows what you can do with the power of it, adding news into it, and as well as, of course, the gappers and everything. It's fantastic. So check out tradingterminal.com. If you want to join us here at Bearable Traders, we'd love to have you. We've got the intro offer always available. Discounted rate for those that are listening here. Use the code PREMARKET24 to get a $24 price. The basic or elite monthly package is always available. And the sometimes discounted, always valuable elite annual still out there. Use the code HELLO2024 to get that discounted rate on it. So HELLO2024 is your code to get 50% off that elite annual rate. All right, so there you go. We'll set some levels. We'll get ourselves going for the trading day. Last day of this first week of 2024. Shortened week, as I mentioned, where I'm expecting lower volumes. I could be completely wrong on that, but really, so far we're seeing, fairly slow movement. My good buddy AMD's moving up here a little bit, but still only 500,000 shares. On a good day, we'll have well over 1 million by now. We're not there yet. So even Tesla right now is trading at about average volume, no better than that. So we'll see what happens, but we'll set some levels and be ready for it.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Peter. Fellas, if you haven't, fellas and gals, if you haven't done so already over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. We really appreciate it. We're sitting at 94. We'd love to be around 150, 160. That is our goal. So help us get there. But thank you so far for that 94 likes. We appreciate it. All right, let's take a look here. We have PLTR, great volume. We have AMD getting into the green here, bouncing off the lows of 134. We have Apple also bouncing here from 180, 181 now, looking to also go green. And we have Tesla doing the exact same thing. And if you look at the overall market, if you look at the SPY, this was happening. We dipped lower here when the news came out at 130. The unemployment rate for December, which again, pretty much what was expected. And there's nothing there that says otherwise. 464 here was the low, and now we're up at a 467, looking to go green for the morning, I think. Yeah, so we dipped a little bit high here, but basically been in the red all morning. Let's see if that can break through the green situation there. So let's get some levels in place, but it looks looking good. We're getting some volume, not great yet, but we're getting some. I'll tell you what has great volume, PLTR. We just need good trading out of this thing. 1547 46 is the low of the pre-market. We since 830 have been bouncing here. Again, this right here, you're going to see this a lot in a lot of tickers. That's what I just showed you. This is just the market movement, right? The drop by around 830 here, the support, and then the bounce back, right? And then if you see a stock doing this, it's pretty much the market has taken over the price action, at least for right now. That can change at the market open. But if you look at the bigger picture, PLTR has been in the red, down 3.6 with almost 3 million shares traded. So we got a lot going on here with PLTR. Towards the top, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. The low from the previous 3 Wednesday and Thursday, right? That low there is pretty much the high of the pre-market today. So you don't got to worry about that. And then you don't got to worry about anything all the way up to probably 1660, right? So we'll leave that alone. Let's focus on the downside of things into November. Below this 1546, we do have a level. Let's get a good one. I want to get one that makes sense. Here it is, this one right over here, 1482. So that one, you have plenty of touches there. There is one here I was kind of struggling with. This is like a minor area. Might be 1515, might be a little less or so, but 1515 minor level of support resistance. So again, don't put too much weight on it. The real one is that 1482. That's going to be a real nice level if we can get into that area. So that is PLTR for us here. Let's take a look at AMD. Volume climbing into the green nicely, at least right now. So trying to get going there. Low of the pre-market at the moment for AMD, 134.57. So we're going into $2. No, actually, yeah, $2 plus move here. on AMD. So that is looking really nice. 134.57 towards the bottom. And if you look at the daily bigger picture, you got a lot of support just below that. Highs and lows lows for the last two trading days right on there. And then on the daily, you can see there's some levels just slightly below that as well. Over at 132.30, we'll slam one there also. Towards the top, we're getting into this area of resistance, which has been the highs for the last two trading days, around 137.45. So I'm not going to worry about the high of the pre-market right now. Let's see if we can get there, and then we can always come back and mark whatever high this thing creates. But right now, the momentum is towards the upside as we're pushing higher, trying to get to 1% at the moment. So up about 90 cents from the previous day close. Levels above the where we at right now, we do have a nice area over here at around 139.70. So you can see here on the daily how many touches we have right around there. Got a couple of days opening, closing, just slamming into that 139.70. So you want to have that on there as well. There's a couple of mid-level and levels, not mid-level, but midpoint levels here around 138.86. I'm not going to mark those, but depending on your trading style, right? If you're scalping and you're looking at smaller time frames, these tighter levels might make a lot of sense. But the big level here is going to be this 139.70. All right, here is Apple. So Apple right now, we do have a level of 179. What is this? 179. This was from yesterday, I believe. So 179.84 is right over here. And that seems to be very close to our low of the pre-market. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this up. I'm going to move that level up and we'll make that the low of the pre-market at the moment, which is right around 180.18. So we'll leave that there. Then towards the bottom, we do have 178.29, which we got from before. But I'm going to make this a little bit better. It's going to be 178.97. So we'll put that there. Then towards the top, guys, highs and lows for the last two trading days, previous day close on here as well. There's just a whole lot going on. High of the pre-market is the previous day close off just by a penny. You can see that here, 181.92. 181.91. So don't gotta worry about that. We'll leave that as is for now. Here is Tesla, a great volume. Again, not explosive, only 1.5, 1.7 million. So we know Tesla can trade well more than that when it's heavily in play. Low of the pre-market right now, 235.26. You can see that is also a nice level of support on this consolidation we had. This was when, if you guys remember, mid-November into December, we were not getting great plays out of Tesla. Very small days, not a whole lot of movement. It was brutal to trade this thing. We actually stopped trading it for a while. Got better mid-December. We started to see some really nice moves out of it. And the last 2 weeks, we've been seeing some great action on it. So it's really been back in play, back to our usual suspects list here. 232.16, we'll slam a level there, and another one down over at 228.25, and I think that kind of covers you towards the downside. Towards the top, highs and lows for the last two trading days here and here are good. And there's a nice level here in between that I think we had before as well. It's around 240.16. If you look at that, you can see plenty of days just slamming into that 240.16 area. So you definitely want to have that on your list as well. All right. That is it, guys. PLTR, AMD, Apple, Tesla, as things are heading northeast at the moment. You can see the SPY here trying to get to that previous day close, trying to go green for the day, getting a little bit of a struggle, but got some good momentum at the moment. Looking at our secondary list, I do have QS on here. Had a great day yesterday. I didn't see the price action, so I don't know how clean this was, but it did get volume, 110 million of it. This morning already 1.5. So could be interesting. Let's do this. I'll do levels for this one. Um, I might move this up. This could be the one that I don't like to trade, that I will trade today because it's just that good. We'll see. 951 is the high of the pre-market. The low is 861. And then if we look to the left here, we do have a couple of levels. This thing moves so much. You can see some levels here, even within the pre-market and the action yesterday. 916, you had a little resistance there. Nice breakout. And then even in the pre-market today, you're getting some support around that area as well. So might be worth having that there, depending on the move we're going to get. So that's QS. Vasilis, no, that's okay. That's okay. You asked me how it was QS, and actually that's what made me look at it to begin with here in my secondary list. So so there it is. And then a few other ones. We have Piton here, Mara, Coin, and Carvana. Again, these are not doing a whole lot right now. They have volume for the most part, but really belong in this list anyway. All right, that is what we have. Peter, anything we might have missed?
I think you got them covered. Like we said, pretty light day today. Not a lot happening. So as you can see, it's sort of reflected in the weakness of our moderator lists, which are starting to get posted here. But stay patient. I'm sure we'll find something good to trade. Just don't want to rush anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, guys, our moderators list is blank. There's nothing. Oh, I see Jared came in.
No,
Oh, did it
no.
just
I
refresh
got
with these
mine.
guys?
Jared's got his. Thor's up
Oh,
there.
no, no, no. It
Megan.
was I had to refresh my page. That just appeared. I'm like,
Okay.
wait, did they all drop it all at once? But I'm seeing the timestamps. So no, they did it. 907, 90912. So yeah, that's good. All right, so let me get you guys this list of our moderators and what they're watching this morning. As I'm fixing this here for you guys for your viewing pleasure, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. Really appreciate it. We're sitting at 127, so not bad, but not great. And we love to be great if we can. So help us get to that 140, 150. Here is our moderators list. Let's see what they're watching this morning. We have starting with Jared. He's looking at Apple and Tesla this morning. No IPOs, no SPACs for today. Peter, you looking at AMD, Apple, Tesla. Secondary list Piton and trading terminal scanners. So that is good. Megan looking at the overall market for now. Thor, Google, and Apple, and the Qs, and obviously the SPY there. And he has his future information as well. Brian looking at Nvidia, Tesla, and Apple today. A very tight list of usual suspects. So again, kind of tells you what kind of morning it is. So we'll see how things play out today. Excellent, friends. That is what we have. So again, for me, PLTR, again, just we'll see where this goes. AMD, more of a usual suspect. Apple as well, bouncing back here. Tesla's starting to get going, trying to go green. And then we have QS, which had a monster day yesterday. Let's see if that can translate to any type of second day play today. And with that, guys, have an amazing trading weekend. First day, first week of the year in the books in a few hours. So again, if you started off well, congrats, keep it going. If you started off bad, that's okay. There's a 51 more of these. So trust me, there's no rush to get it right out of the gates, right? So we got some work to do. That's perfectly okay. Take care, friends, and have an amazing trading week.
Trade smart, everybody. Talk to you Monday.
All right. See ya.